Good morning, South Louisiana. This is Darla, your real estate agent with Real Broker. I live and work right here in South Louisiana, servicing all of the Acadiana region. And it's a great day. It's a great Tuesday today. Look, disclaimer, if you see a dog in the way back, I'm bringing my German Shepherd puppy to have her fixed this morning in her last round of shots. She's beautiful. You probably see those ears back there. You may even hear some whining because she's not used to riding in the car. So there's the disclaimer, guys. Y'all have a great Tuesday. So listen, number one characteristic that you must possess if you are going to want to buy or sell your home with me anytime soon. Whether you're looking to buy, which means we're going to be house hunting and looking at all the homes in your budget, or if you're a seller and you're going to be preparing your home to hit the market for maximum profit in the shortest amount of time, the number one characteristic that you need to work with me is motivation. Absolute motivation. I had a great conversation yesterday with a lender because I had a potential buyer who called me earlier in the day and is looking to start house hunting. Great, that's always a great call. I love getting those calls. But lots of times I get the call from a buyer, and a buyer will say to me, I'm thinking about buying a house soon. What do I need to do? And I always tell people the same exact thing. Before you begin house hunting, you need to know if you qualify, and if you do qualify, for what loan type, and if you qualify in whatever loan type it is, how much is your budget and how much are you going to need to spend in closing costs. Okay, you need to know all those things before you begin physically house hunting. Now listen, looking online on realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, all those places, that's great. It's great to start looking to see what houses are for sale, what do houses in different price ranges look like, what areas are they in. It's good to kind of know, if you're looking at a house in the country on 5 acres, what that price range is looking like, as opposed to a house maybe that's in town on less than an acre, and depending on what town it is. So there's so many different aspects that go into pricing a home. So motivation. So let's go back to that conversation that I had with that buyer yesterday. He calls me, he says, listen, Ms. Darla, I'm looking to start house hunting soon. What do I need to do? Great question. First of all, you need to get pre-approved so you know what your budget is and so you know what loan type you have. And I said to him, listen, I'm going to send you a couple of different lenders. They're all amazing. You choose one or call all of them and have a conversation with them all and see which one you feel better talking to, you feel more at ease with. Because the thing about a lender or a mortgage broker that I'm going to refer to a potential buyer is they pretty much work 24/7. They don't work banker's hours. You can text them or call them almost any time. They work all the time, and that's why I like to work with those kinds of people. So I say to this buyer, I'm going to send you some people. Give them a call and tell them that you're looking to start house hunting soon with me, and you need to first get pre-approved. Now, what I always say to a buyer is, you don't want to get pre-approved for your maximum budget. You want to think about what is the monthly note that you feel comfortable paying. And that includes your house note, your taxes, and your insurance. So you may actually qualify for way more than you ever want to spend. So when you call that broker or that lender, you say to them, this is my maximum monthly budget. This is all I want to spend on a house. And then they will pre-approve you for only that amount. Now they may say to you, listen, you qualify actually for way more than this, but this is the amount for the number you gave me per month, okay? So I have this conversation all the time with potential buyers. And about, I would say, 40% actually pick up the phone or text the lender or the broker and move forward, right? Because lots of people are just not either motivated or they're scared because their credit may be low, or they just don't have the energy. Listen, life is busy. I understand that. Life is busy. But we always make time for what's important to us. And so I had a conversation probably after I sent the buyer to the lender, and he called the lender. The lender called me about 30 minutes later and said, I just had a great conversation with the young man that you referred to me. He's a solid buyer. He's easily going to get qualified for whatever amount he needs to qualify for. But this is the amount that he feels comfortable paying. Great. So he picked up the phone immediately when he and I got off the phone and called that lender. That is a motivated buyer. This is the conversation I had with the lender, and it's the conversation I have with all the lenders that I work with. Do not call and hound a person. Do not call and beg them to start an application. Do not call them and harass them, which is what I would say, because this is how I feel. If you are absolutely motivated to either buy or sell, you're going to do what you need to do to get the job done. And if you're not motivated, I can't motivate you. I'm not going to call you and call you and call you and get you to do things that you may not be ready to do or willing to do or wanting to do. So as the buyer, when I tell you, call this lender and get pre-approved, and you choose not to for whatever reason, I'm not going to call you up and say, hey, did you call that lender and did you get pre-approved? Listen, I'm not babysitting. I just don't feel like it's my responsibility. If you want to buy a house and you're ready to buy a house, you're going to do whatever you need to do to make that happen. And it begins with getting pre-approved, knowing your budget, knowing your loan type, okay? Now, let's flip over to the selling side. If you're a seller and I go meet with you and I say, these are the things that I recommend that you do to prepare your house to hit the market for prime profit in the shortest amount of time, these are never going to be mandates. They're always going to be recommendations. And you decide, it's just too much work. Listen, believe me, it is a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work to prepare a house to hit the market, ready to sell for maximum profits in the shortest amount of time. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks. And listen, in the heat of this South Louisiana summer, when it's hot and it's humid and it's just blah, it absolutely is no fun to get a house ready to sell. And I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it for you because it's not fun. But I guarantee you, if you do the things that I tell you to do, your house will sell for maximum profits in the shortest amount of time, every time. Now, if you choose not to do it, that's absolutely your right. I'm not going to call you and hound you and harass you and go, hey, are you done with your list? Are you done with your list? Are you done with your list? Never, never. So I meet with the seller. This is what I always do. Meet with the seller. We do a walkthrough. We go through the list of to-dos that I recommend, right? And then that seller, I say to them, listen, you take whatever time you need. If it's 3 days, if it's 3 months, listen, if it's 3 years, that is absolutely your right. You take the time as a seller to do the things that you need to do to get your home ready to sell, to make maximum profit in the shortest amount of time. And I do it over and over and over again. The process works. The most important thing as a seller is to be so motivated that when somebody walks onto your property and walks into your house, the buyer gets the feeling that you took amazing care of your place, you took pride in where you live, you cared about it. And that's going to make a difference, not only for the buyer, it's going to make a difference when that inspector walks through your house. It's going to make a difference when the appraiser sees the pictures online and in their mind, they've already appraised it for the sale price before they step foot on the property. It matters, and I see it over and over and over again. It's a process that works. It's a process that works. But you, as the buyer or the seller, must be motivated. You must be motivated. I can't motivate you to do anything that you don't want to do. So, as a buyer, you're motivated to get pre-approved. You're motivated to send me a day and a time that you're available to go look at houses. You're motivated to then make an offer, right, on the house that you choose. So with that, back to that conversation with that buyer I had yesterday, he's pre-approved, he's ready to go. Wednesday afternoon when he gets off work, we're going house hunting, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna choose the house that works best for him. We're gonna submit an offer to the seller, and we're gonna get the ball rolling. And that's how it works over and over and over again. But I tell you, probably 60 to 65% of the time, I get calls from buyers and or sellers who just aren't motivated. They're just not sure. And so remember, if you're motivated, you're not going to let anything stand in your way. Whether you're the buyer or the seller, you're going to do what you need to do to get the job done. Because listen, where there's a will, there's an absolute way. You have to think about the end goal. If you're the buyer, imagine yourself sitting at that closing table in probably 4 to 5 weeks, and the seller's handing over the keys to you because you're the buyer of a brand new house, because you did all the things you needed to do to make it happen. If you're a seller, picture yourself at that closing table receiving that check because you sold your house, because you did every single thing on the recommended list that I gave you to do. Picture the end game. Picture the end game. When it sucks on the days that you just don't feel like doing it, on those days that are hard and you're busy and there's so many other things that you could be doing, right? Think about the end game. Think about the closing table and either handing over the keys or receiving the keys as the buyer or the seller. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Remember this, there are no stupid questions in real estate. Ask all your questions. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Y'all take care.